have the grill back in the front of the TV cabinet, and I have the little decorative bezel fastened back. So I'm ready to slide the chassis in. That gold paint I think looks pretty good. If you'll remember, they had this piece of insulation glued around the bezel. So this is what I've used instead, just a foam rubber sticky back. I just attached it around it. I don't know how it'll look until I slide the chassis in and see, but well, I think that'll work. I'm not sure if this set had a mask like the Motorola's used around that tube. It's possible that they did. I do have some material I can make a mask out of. But I don't know, that doesn't really look that bad.
Well, I declare. Sorry that I took so long.
Well?
But I had to stop by Moss Grimmick's stable and rent a buggy.
Oh. You planning to drive Miss Smith Wright all the way back to Philadelphia?
Here's a test fit of the cardboard template I made for the back. It fits pretty good. My next issue is I'm going to have to bore those holes for the adjustments. There you can see there's 6 holes for the adjustments along the bottom edge of the chassis, and then this hole right here, that's a high voltage adjustment, so I do need to be able to access that too. I have an idea of the way I'm going to mark these controls. You can see there they are there. I'm going to take another piece of cardboard, cut it to where it fits snug in between inside the cabinet. I'll mark the holes on it, and then I'll be able to take this, hold it on the back template, and those holes should line up correctly then. Alright, I have the cardboard cut to where it fits tight from side to side, and the controls are here, so I'm going to try to just push the cardboard in where each control is, and hopefully it'll make an indent in the cardboard. And I think it did. There's our 3 controls, 3 more controls. Mark these with a Sharpie. The high voltage control up here, I'll just have to measure from these 2 controls up and hopefully get it in the right position. The other thing, I put a fuse on this set right over here, so I think I'm going to mark it too while I'm into it. The antenna terminals, I got to replace them with just a typical screw type terminals, and I'll just bore a hole for them and mount them in the back of the set when I get the back finished. Alright, I've taken my control template on the inside of my back template and lined it up here with the bottom of the cabinet. So now I'm going to punch these, and I actually have some punches here that I'm going to do this with. Once I make the masonite back, after I get my template finished and I'm ready to make the actual back, I have some step bits which are right here, and I'll bore them to the appropriate size through that masonite. Alright, I got the holes punched. I'm going to take this off and see what it looks like on the actual back pattern. Now we'll see if they line up with the controls. pretty close. And I can see all the controls through the hose. And when I make the actual back, I will make these holes larger where you can see in there a little better. Might even cut this out. It might be better where you can get in there to the fuse. The last one I need to mark is the high voltage adjustment, which is in the high voltage cage. It's right up in here somewhere. I'll see if I can take a tape measure and measure that and find it. Looking at this terminal that I'm going to put on here for the antenna connections. These are shorter lugs, but I need to attach a twin lead to these two capacitors, and I thought I'd put some just plug-on connectors. If I want to take the back off, this will be fastened and I can just unplug it on the back of the terminals. I think that would work better. I had this piece of twin lead that I had laying around here, so I think what I'm going to do, fasten it to the old twin lead and then connect it to the caps. Here's how I attach the twin lead inside the set. I just looped it under that old twin lead, came back, attached to each cap, and then I do have my 390 ohm resistor between the two terminals. And on this end I just have the two terminals, and when I put my back on, they just slide on to the antenna terminals. Well, there it is. What do you think? I mounted the antenna terminal with rivets, and I put 1/4-inch head screws, probably like it would have had in it when it was new. I think it turned out pretty well. I'm satisfied with it. The last thing I'll try to come up with is a way of marking the controls. If you look on the SAMs, it looks like they just glued a white piece of paper across here for all the controls. See, they have them labeled. Alright, here's a final look at the TV. The back that I made for it. My wife was able to type these control settings on paper and print them. So it looks kind of like the original set looked when it was new. Probably the next project's going to be the one here in the floor. The Montgomery Wards that I've already taken the chassis out of. The reason I did that was to check the picture tube, and it was good. So that one's next.
No, you can't be Ann.
And you can't be Chester.
Well, I am.
What about the man who brought me from the depot?
Oh, that was only the marshal. He was just helping me out.
How dare you send me his picture? Do you realize you made me come all the way from Philadelphia on false pretenses?
False pretense?
Yes, false pretenses.
Well, what about you?
At least I had the decency to send a picture of my own sister.
We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, and we'd love it if you would subscribe to our channel. Thanks.